Are you warming up? I should have given this to you.
Thank you.
I can't wear it with a holiness like that around, you know. I mean, you're having one as well now. Yes, give me yours, you know. Thank you. Are you cold? I see many of you tucked in. Look at you. You are like, "Ugh." I'm very thankful to all of you to invite me, to have you with you, and to share some ideas, you know, about how can we make this world such a better place to live in. We have to first decide that from today on, we don't work anymore. Stop with the idea that you have a job and you got to work. Put in your mind that whatever you're going to do, you're going to enjoy. And you're only going to put in your mind you're going to thoroughly enjoy it from now on. At the age of 37, I had the great privilege to sell all my businesses, put everything in a foundation, and enjoy life. And from then on, I've been a nuisance to a lot of people. You see, the one thing we don't want to do in life is to be on the earth to please everyone. We do too much to please the other. We also have to secure that we sometimes are a pain in the neck and lower as well. Because we are in this world to make a better world. And if we only speak what people want to hear, then we're never going to improve. We're never going to get better. We have to say things which are upsetting sometimes, not because we want to upset, because we want to make people think. So I'm going to tell you a story about the whale. You know the whales? I hope you don't eat them. The whale is the most incredible species on earth because it's a huge species. Now the whale is perhaps the only species where only the men sing. The males sing, and they only sing love songs. About 12 years ago, with my friend Jorge Reynolds, who some of you learned to know yesterday, we decided to put 7 buoys in the Pacific Ocean with hydrophones, and we could pick up the songs of the whales, the love songs of the whales. And we put it on a satellite, and we shipped it over to the World Expo in Hanover in Germany. And we had concerts organized with the whales singing in the Pacific. Now what we were really interested in was not so much the love song of the whales, although we did something very naughty in Germany. Because it was a love song, we put a phone number, and with your cell phone you could key in and you could listen to the whales singing. And we had no traffic on that phone at all. Who wants to hear a whale singing in the Pacific? A few extraordinary animal lovers. So in Germany, I went on TV and I said, we have the sex phone with the whales. I tell you, traffic went up right away. Everyone wanted to know, how does it sound like? And of course, they heard the same thing. But the reason why we put in hydrophones in the ocean is because we wanted to listen to the heartbeat of the whale. Because the whale has this incredible heart that is capable of pumping 1,000 liters, 250 gallons, every pulse with only 6 volts. Now we're talking innovation. The whale's heart is bathing in fat, in blubber, and still the electricity gets right through it. Because the whale has been able to develop these very 2-cell thick channels that allows conductivity to be close to absolute conductivity, which IBM says is only possible at minus 240 degrees. Well, the whale does it in the water in the Pacific Ocean at 17 degrees. And that allows us to envision how conductivity can be so dramatically improved that we can think it through to where we in our health environment are having the biggest problems. When we have a blockage in our heart, it really means that we have no conductivity. And thanks to that invention, that insight in how the heart of the whale works, we can see how we can eliminate the pacemaker. Eliminating the pacemaker means we can bridge the conductivity by simply putting in a small carbon tube into the heart without surgery. But even better, we need to coordinate that. And so we put tiny crystals around that little grain in which we have these two electrodes attached, nanoscale. And since the heart moves, pretty powerful, we're generating piezoelectricity. And we, of course, listen to the whale singing, right? But we have this piezoelectricity that presses these crystals. Now we're able to convert 17 millivolts into 1 volt because that's what we need. And we put a little antenna in there, and then with a little antenna, you can make your electrocardiogram 24 hours a day, all the time, connected to your cell phone. You connect to your cell phone, and we got this idea because we're listening to the music of the whales. Sometimes you have to think out of the box. If you're not prepared to think out of the box, if you're not willing to go on the edge, you're taking up too much space. You have to go to the edge. And sometimes you have to accept that people will consider you crazy and nuts. When they tell me I'm crazy, it's an honor. When they say I'm smart, I'm insulted. I'm not smart. But what we need to do is to be able to push forward. Now, the other thing I learned from the whale is that the whale is capable of doing all of this pumping for 80 years without maintenance and without batteries. How does the whale do it? Because the whale generates electricity to pump 1,000 liters. Any mechanical engineers in the room? Who knows of a pump that is capable of pumping 1,000 liters for 80 years, no maintenance, and no electric current, except for the electricity that's generated around the heart? So the whale is capable of doing all of that. Now we get inspiration today for designing a whole range of new products that eliminates the battery. Now we're talking innovation. Because I'm an environmentalist and I hate us continuing to pillage the world, to take out all this from the mines, to smelt it at high temperatures, put it in batteries, and we throw it away. How can we do that? So since we're not able to change our behavior, we got to change the system. So what I'm out to do in this world is change the system. But I'm not changing the system by prohibiting you to have something like a battery. I outcompete you. Because the only way we'll change things is by outcompeting, doing so much better and taking you so far out of the box that even an entrepreneur today who has no money and no experience can compete. We're Davids versus Goliaths. I heard there are only 5 big players in the world. That makes it very easy. Suppose there are 1,000 players in the world. I had the great privilege in 1980 to work with Mr. Honda, Shoichiro Honda, one of the greatest mentors I had in my life. And Mr. Honda, when I sat down with him, I just got my MBA. I just had my MBA, and having my MBA, I asked him, what was your SWOT analysis for deciding to go into the car business? He said, SWOT analysis, strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. He said, I didn't do that. I said, and how did you figure out that you could compete on the market? He said, I only made one list. Which one? He said, I made the list of all the weaknesses of my competitors, and it was very long. Because if I would have made the SWOT analysis, I had so many weaknesses and so many threats, I would never have had the courage to do it. We need entrepreneurs to wake up and realize that even if there are the big businesses around, we can fight them, gain market share, simply being David versus Goliath. And the precondition to succeed in my courses to the young MBAs who don't have money to pay the fees for a normal MBA is, the precondition is no experience and no money. If you have experience and you have money, you can't beat them. So the question is, how do you do it? Well, in the other 8 minutes I have before me, I can't explain that to you. But what I can tell you is I came to Taipei, I was in Taiwan, and I was spending time with teachers. Because I think this way of thinking we have to bring to the kids. But to get to the kids, we have to talk to the teachers. So I'm spending 3 days with teachers. I left them behind. I asked them for permission to come here and to spend some time with you. But we need to work with the teachers. 50% of our time must be spent in mentoring kids and those who reach out to kids. If we're not going to take the time to inspire the young people to do so much better than we have ever been able to do, this world will not get better. This world needs people to think out of the box. So far out of the box that it's unreal, like having a microelectronics industry in Taiwan in less than 10 years where the battery is eliminated. I have 7 sources patented of electricity we can generate without a battery. 7. And I was able to sit down with some of the big industries and said, this is going to happen to you. I warn you. We're going to do this. Now you think I'm crazy because you guys have never looked at this. But when we have been able to convert 60 millivolts into 1 volt, I tell you, we can very quickly go to 6 volt and 12 volts. That is a little thing to go. And if I'm looking around this building, I'm just making a quick calculation, and I probably can generate 24,000 watts in this room alone. What is the biggest source of energy in this room? You? You? No. How much do you think this building weighs? What's the weight of the building? How much would this roof weigh? Could we agree a couple tons? Yeah, easy. And so what we're seeing is this pillar. How much does this pillar weigh? How much is that pillar weigh? That transversal. Here. How much does this weigh? It weighs tons. And when you have tons on top of each other, which force is working? Gravity. Yes, Newton figured it out a couple hundred years ago. But our industry still hasn't figured it out. We can put very simple crystals right under that pillar, and that will generate 6,000 watts right there. And you know the beauty of it? We don't have to create wires. The only thing we don't have yet is electric circuits. Hey, but isn't there a company called Delta in this country? Isn't it the most admired company? So I sit down with this chairman and the CEO, and I'm saying, that's what's going to happen. Either you're going to do it, or someone else is going to do it. And you're proud to be, since 2002, the #1 in the world? I think there's a limit to it. And we need to challenge. If we're not challenging people by showing their pathways to do better, but we can take it from the medical industries. We can eliminate surgery. We can eliminate the battery. We can generate electricity where the buildings itself are generating power for everything around it. And we can monitor all on our cell phone. It's not difficult if we're willing to believe that we can go beyond our dreams. The best in our life is not realizing our dreams. The best in our lives is if we can go beyond our dreams. And that is the challenge that you have here at TEDx. Think beyond dreams. I have a little video, and I wanted to get prepared for it. Are the people ready? And when I'm saying go, you will go. Okay, excellent. I have a little video which summarizes so much more that I want to share with you. But in my heart and in my soul, I have one mission: inspire people to do much better than I can ever imagine in my own life. Go!
The Simple Show explains the blue economy. This is our planet. Of course, we want to preserve it for future generations, and therefore we choose healthy and natural products, organic food, solar energy, and biodegradable soaps. But all these goodies cost more. Whatever is bad for your health and damages the environment is cheap. Whatever is good for your health and saves the environment is expensive. This green economy will be for the happy few. Most of us cannot afford it. Worse, some stuff we thought is great for us and good for nature actually is not good at all. Biosoaps use palm oil from plantations that destroyed the rainforest. Solar energy depends for decades on subsidies. which must be paid with tax money. Bioplastics compete with food. Organic food is shipped around the world, damaging the climate. So it is not only expensive, sometimes it is not smart either. So we have to be more creative to do it better. We must open our eyes to see what we've got. For example, here is our morning coffee. We really only use 0.2% of it. What do we do with the rest? Throw it away? We use it to grow mushrooms, then feed the leftovers to animals. Animals make manure, and bacteria make biogas from that. We thought it was only waste. And now, everyone who knows this can generate food, energy, and jobs. We like that. And there are so many opportunities. Once we see them, it is clear that we can convert poverty into development, scarcity into abundance. If we can make the cake bigger, it is easier to share with everyone. However, many people have good ideas. What we need are people who make it happen. We need these entrepreneurs. Actually, we need a whole generation of entrepreneurs. They do not care how the apple falls down from the tree. Newton figured that out hundreds of years ago. They want to know how the apple got up in the tree in the first place, defying the law of gravity. These innovators think like David, who beat Goliath. Without experience and little money, they change the rules of the game and generate more money for themselves and their community. That makes everybody happy. This is our goal, making people healthy and happy with what we did not know we have. And after all, the sky is blue, the ocean is blue, and our Earth, as seen from the universe, is also blue. That's why we call this the blue economy. It has only just begun. For more information, visit ziri.org.
I've got 34 seconds to go. As a last message, the whale is one of the stories. I have 100 more, which I've selected out of 5 years of research of 2,200 opportunities we find in nature. Nature is my inspiration. Nature gives me the vision and the inspiration to go forward. But we have only just begun. Thank you.